In the news this morning.
50.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is 950 Ent Radio's PRG podcast. It's your boy Freddie Focus.
It's PRG Blakk in the building representing 950.
It's your boy Keem One. We back with another one, PRG.
It's your boy Cutta, always and forever, repping for the South Side.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Hey.
You said always and forever?
Yeah,
Always
it's in my
and
blood, bro.
forever.
It's in my
Shout
blood.
out to the South Side. You
You know
got
what
that
I'm
shit
saying?
tatted on him.
Hey, I don't got it tatted on me. But, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of tats, I want to get another tat.
Yeah.
I've been getting tat fever.
Yeah.
I got.
When's the last time you got a tattoo?
About 8 years ago.
Damn, son.
Long
You
time,
about
bro.
ready.
What happened
Damn.
is my artist, he actually moved all the way to Oregon. He moved this tattoo shop like across the street from the original Nike store.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to Oregon, man.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
I mean, but how long is it going to take you to trust another person with your tattoos?
Exactly.
You
That's
know what I'm
another
saying?
thing.
You got to make that jump,
Yeah, there's
bro.
a lot of great tattoo artists out here.
Exactly.
How your homegirl? I'm thinking about going
Brissa.
to her.
Yeah.
What's her
That's
name?
That's my girl, Brissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started. It's crazy because we were going to her when she was probably 14 or 15 years old.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, like she was. And she had at that time she
She
had
was
been
nice like
tattooing.
that back then?
She was pretty good back then, and she's way better now. Like she's taking. She was good back then. She was young. She had been doing it for a few years already at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, it
At
was pretty
14?
cool. Yeah,
Follow
she
her.
was like 15. I think she had started doing it when she said when she was like
What's
13.
what's her name?
Brissa.
No doubt. Shout out to her.
No, she's dope. She's dope.
But
But
we should have her on the show.
I follow her on Instagram. She's pretty dope.
She definitely does. She does amazing work.
Seen her. She was like in a Philly convention in Philly, like a tattoo convention.
Okay.
Yeah, she was tattooing some people. I seen it was pretty. We gotta have her on the show one of these days.
No doubt.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, but man, I don't know. I've been getting tattooed for a while. It's a shame because I got tattoos when I shouldn't have gotten tattoos. I was way too young. Man.
That's one thing I wish I would have waited up right this age to start getting tattooed. I feel. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would have
It's more
made,
meaningful.
Yeah, I would have made a little bit more better decisions.
But see, my
with
thing
tattoos.
is like, and I've always said this too for a very long time, and I still hold that true today, is the fact that like I don't regret any of my tattoos at all because at the end of the day, every single one of my tattoos has a story to it.
That's what's up.
And it has a meaning to it. It might look stupid to you. It might be like, whatever. But to me, I can recall a very...
As long as it means something to you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
all mines have a meaning. It's just that it's I would have put it better on my body.
Yeah.
The way
I
it
mean,
is, yeah.
I think that's just human nature, though. Because and especially with me, I don't know about everybody else, but me personally, I do that with everything. Like, I do it with my tattoos. I do it when I buy a car. Like, before I get it, I'm like, oh, man, this is the one. This is the one. And after I get it,
Like, was it the
like,
one?
you know what I mean?
son.
Or with anything, you know what I'm saying? Anything, it can even be clothes. You can see a shirt and be like, damn, that's a nice shirt. Then you buy it, and all of a sudden you look like, man, what the fuck?
So
This
what
shirt
you,
ugly
which
as
is
hell.
really worth it?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of me. I just kind of critique things after I get them a little too much. So you, like you said, sometimes you look at your tattoo and be like, you know what? I should have put it maybe over here. I should have put it somewhere else, and I could have did
We're
this.
our hardest critics.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
of
You're
course.
always going to look at yourself, and I think that's why we get addicted to tattoos too, because you see, you have like you have the one here. You look at yourself and you're like, damn,
Halfway
man,
done.
yeah, maybe I need another one, or I need to get it all the way down here so to look better, it's full, it's complete.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason you get addicted to them, just looking at yourself.
How many tattoos y'all got? Y'all know off
I
don't
can't
got
count
one.
mine, man.
count.
Yeah, 'cause
Ballpark?
It's a
I
whole
only got one.
sleeve.
I got 2. That's it. I got an easy number.
So you don't have a sleeve. What are you
I got an even
a half a
easier
sleeve.
number than one.
Sleeve though. Sleeve.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many
so
sit-down sessions did you have for that?
I can't remember. Probably about 5, I think.
Really, for half sleeves?
Yeah, it was
Damn,
half
nigga.
sleeve. It's in my back too.
Oh, you do have like on the
My
on
back
the, on the
and then my chest. All this connects to my chest. Yeah,
so it's like a whole piece then.
yeah. It's still not done yet.
Motherfuckers tatted
It's
up.
supposed to be down in here, and then I still got to finish pieces on my back.
I feel so you can't really you don't know how to count it.
Yeah, it's because it's all connected. So
Yeah, same thing on mine. I mean, I've probably sat down for 15, 16.
Damn.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
So if y'all had to finish y'all tattoos up, what would it be?
Oh, I just want to finish this because I have this as the skull with the Puerto Rican flag. It's like the bandana around his face. So I wanted to do like a full Puerto Rican.
Like a full sleeve though?
Yeah.
Like a full sleeve?
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of ideas. I want to get like a big ass machete. I want to do like a bunch of the Taino Indian symbols. And,
Fire. I like
just a
that.
bunch of different
That
shit.
sound
man.
fire.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to get the
different things.
trying to get the Knicks logo Oh, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Wow. No, I do want to get a Miami Heat logo. A small one though. I want to get a small one.
I want to
yeah.
get the 90s
I fuck
one.
with my team, man.
The 90s one, there was like a certain design that I pretty
I
like.
talking about-
And then I also want to get my Taurus, like the bull.
Yeah.
But like a certain design that nobody got. Like put it on this.
Nobody
You got to draw that yourself, though, bro.
Huh?
If it's going to be one of a kind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
do
gotta
draw
draw
too. I do
yourself.
dabble. I did with dabble in drawing, but you know, I ain't like that. Not enough to tattoo that bitch.
You got any tattoos, Black?
Yeah, I got two. I got one here on some old school shit. It says it's supposed to say "I love my family." You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that's what it says.
You never know,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
and then
you.
I got this one. It's my son's footprints and his birthday. You know
That's
what
what's
I'm saying?
up.
So I would get two more. I would get another one because I ain't got nothing for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I would get that.
How old is
You
your
know what I'm
daughter?
saying? My daughter's 13. I ain't getting her footprint, son. That should take up. It's a little bit late for
Put her
that.
footprints right on your.
You know what I'm saying?
damn
Yeah,
foot.
that shit ain't going to fit on your arm, bro. You got to put it on your back.
You know what I'm saying?
Got a
big old foot.
I would get one like for PRG. I'm just not sure exactly what.
That's
You know what
real.
I'm saying? And then I would get one for my wife because her name is Siobhan.
Yeah.
Everybody call her Chevy.
Yeah,
And she was
yeah,
born
yeah.
in 19 something. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
I would
yeah.
put 19 whatever that year Chevy. You know what I'm saying?
I like
The
that.
actual car?
I
Yeah, like the
that.
car, not the word.
Yeah.
That's
You know
kind
what
of
I'm
a
saying?
dope little. I never
You know
seen
what I'm
that
saying?
before. It's kind of dope.
So
That is dope. That's cool.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope.
That would be what
I
I
like
would do.
that. Yeah,
Another
yeah.
thing I was also thinking about doing is the inside of my lip.
Oh, the Wakanda, right, bro?
Yeah.
True that, true that,
And they
true that.
actually have the tattoos that would they glow in the dark. And-
Yeah, they've been had that.
So
I sounded so hyped, but I was just
for a
playing.
minute. I
would
was
never
gonna
do
get a face tattoo, man.
Huh?
I was gonna get a face tattoo at one point. I was so serious about
Hey,
it.
what
Yeah.
was you going to get,
What
bro?
you gonna get?
You going to get the Carter 3?
No, I was actually. No, the funny thing was I was gonna get a symbol, like a Chinese symbol. I was thinking about a Chinese symbol, either a Chinese symbol or it was gonna be an Arabic symbol.
can't
A
trust that,
small
though,
one
man.
right here. It was gonna be warrior, and it was gonna
I
be
mean,
a
that's
small
dope,
one
though.
right there. And bro, I even went to like the tattoo shop and everything. And it was funny because when I went, I asked him. He was like,
A lot of them don't do it, right?
he's like, yeah. He was
Like,
like,
you
come
sure
on,
you
man.
want
You don't
that?
want to do that, man. And I was like,
That was old school Keem, though.
and my wife too. At the time, she wasn't my wife, but she was like, "Don't fucking do it."
Yeah, a lot of artists don't
Please
like to
do it.
tattoo faces. They don't
She
like
was
to
like,
tattoo
please
inside
don't
of your
do it.
hand. Nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I wanted to get it, man. I don't know. At the time, I just wanted it. You know, and I don't know. I'm glad I didn't. I guess. Yeah, but
If
yeah,
I
thought about it.
if you did do it, I would say do it like more on like on the side of the head.
I've even still thought about that too because like I'm going
Yeah.
bald, so I've always thought about getting a tattoo on, you know what I mean, on my head or something.
Yo, they
what I'm
actually
saying?
for
But I
bald
don't
people,
know.
they're actually doing tattoos. They're tattooing hairlines now. That
Yeah, I've
shit's
seen
nuts.
that. Yeah.
And they
I mean, but
Yeah,
do
they
that shit grow back,
tattoo
though?
eyebrows,
Yeah.
all that.
That shit grow back, though? You can't, tattoo hair can't grow back. You know what I mean?
How's
You
it?
might-
What do you mean? It's a tattoo.
just a
It's nothing to
You might, as
grow.
well, you might as well
Where
go
does it
ahead-
go?
You might as well go ahead and put it pay that 2 stacks, get that DJ Self hairline.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Get that shag rug on the top of your head.
You
I'm
stupid,
like,
son.
Yeah,
Shag?
I'm
With the shag?
listen.
You see what they doing in Atlanta too? They be
man.
doing crazy. They be having people looking like if that's really their hairline, man. Women do
Son.
it. Why can't
Man, they be
men?
having dreads and shit.
They be
Alright,
bringing
why not?
people all the way
Why
back,
not?
bro.
all right. I want to bring up a topic.
Bring it up.
Let's get it.
Bring it up.
How do y'all feel about like what's your limit with plastic surgery? For any like
What you mean limit?
all right, so for me, speaking on, Cutta's behalf,
I don't have a limit.
it's a limit to where a female in my eyes gets so much plastic surgery that shit you look like everybody else. It's
Correct,
like,
correct.
like, it's like it's too much.
Everybody looks
Correct.
like Kylie Jenner. basically.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. You got the same
Same look.
fucking lips. You got the same fucking ass.
Same
It's-
ass,
I don't
same
like that
titties,
shit.
same everything.
I mean, me personally, I don't like that shit.
Me
Everybody,
either.
hey, to each his own. I mean, I'm not hating on it. It's just me. I just think it's too much, and I mean, it's
As long as it's proportion and looks natural,
Facts.
yeah.
that's when it's cool.
Facts.
What's the problem with a lot of these women? They're actually I think they have the strip club body mentality, especially strippers, like especially even bartenders hanging
Yeah.
around the strippers. They kind of men honestly don't really. Well, me as man, I don't really like that shit. Like
Yeah.
OD, like
No, it's too
ass,
much.
especially if it don't match your body. If you're a
Correct.
big woman and then you got a big ass, it's cool. It matches you. But if you're talking about you skinny like a stick,
Yeah,
and you got a fat.
See, that's my thing. It's not really maybe the amount of surgery. I mean, you never know. I don't know. I don't want to hate on women or really talk about. I can understand that they might want to do things and whatnot. That's cool. So I'm not gonna like say there's an amount to it, but it's more of like you said. How does it look? Is the biggest thing? How does it look? Why are you getting what you're getting, and what are you actually doing to yourself? Is my thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there are women that I know and I've seen that can get quite a bit of surgery done to themselves, but it's it's not nothing crazy. They're not getting massive implant breasts, crazy, but it's more like I know somebody who lost a lot of weight, and that excess skin. Like they lost a lot of weight, so they had excess skin everywhere. So they had a lot of surgery to get like the excess skin and get other things done to just kind of make it look, just to make everything look good. And it's like, you know what, you worked hard for that. You lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your body's gonna do certain things. So whatever, I understand that. So it's not an amount. It's just more how does it look. When people, like you say, they do go out here and try to look. I don't even know, man. It's crazy. They get excessive lips and breasts and butt and it just looks like what the fuck.
I mean, some women seem to think that it's all about a giant ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I look at, if you get surgery, I shouldn't be able to look at you and tell you got surgery. You know what I'm saying? And women need to understand this. It's okay, women. It's not about how big your ass is all the time. There's a saying, and I think we said it probably last year. I'm going to say it again.
We've talked about it on the show before, yeah.
Every nice ass ain't fat, and every fat ass ain't nice. You know what I'm saying? So, you can have the ass that stick out for a foot or so. That don't mean that we like it, bro. You know what I'm saying? They need, y'all women need to understand that.
As long as it's round, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the main
part.
It doesn't like there's girls who are nice small. They're 110, 115, 120 pounds. They're small, and that ass looks big on them because it just it fits them and their body. Correct. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be like And there's even big girls who are 200 pounds, 200 something pounds, and you can still see that ass is big on them. Like what I'm saying, but it's not ridiculously, like, it doesn't look disproportionate. Yeah, it doesn't look disproportionate. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just all to your body type.
I feel like I need to clarify myself after hearing y'all point of view. And I agree with y'all, but I wasn't bashing women who get corrective surgery for certain things or anything like that. I just think like wow. I just think that I appreciate a woman who feels comfortable in her own skin, who feels like she doesn't have to change herself for anything. Yeah, like that. Like that's I'm 100% behind that, and I try to preach that to my daughters and everything like that. I don't want you to feel like you need something artificial to make you feel beautiful. You know what I mean? And like I said, I preach that shit to my girls all the time. And I don't know, it's just crazy when I see so much shit in the world and I see all these plastic women and everybody's so turned on from it. Like, they literally
you see a lot of these celebrities. Like look at Lil' Kim. So many
she messed herself up. She was beautiful prior to the surgery.
I seen a picture that somebody posted. I think it was on Instagram, maybe Facebook. But it's an old picture of Lil' Kim and basically just said like, Why would you want to change the way you look? She was perfect, she was
bro.
Very pretty.
A lot of people were saying that she was ugly back then. Even Pac said it on the track, and it probably got to her. A lot of people started listening to kind of what Pac said, and just probably went along with it.
Maybe, I don't know, but she was not ugly.
She was perfect to me.
She would have aged just as fine as Jada Pinkett. Correct. You know what I mean?
She had that nice little petite frame.
Shout out Jada Pinkett, though.
That's the thing with black women, too. Black women, like, they look better as they age. Correct. Like, when they get in their 40s, 50s, they take care of themselves.
That mature black women.
They be looking better than what they did when they were 19, 18 years old.
Correct.
They feeling nice.
Correct. Black don't crack. It's actually scientific. Look it up. It's just the melanin in the skin doesn't break down.
I think we should take a break. Y'all want to take a little break?
Yes, sir.
I'm down. We can take a break. Let's do it. We come back.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a little break. We're going to listen to a joint by my man KC. You know what I'm saying? He called this one Family. So we're going to rock out with that.
I fuck with it.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. 950 ENT Radio.
PRG baby.
Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Fury on the beat, yo.
You hit the corner store, you get what you want. The corner store boys hit the corner cause they can't get a job. I really mean it when I say you alone. Cause when you down and now ain't no one around.
Fury
I
on
only
the
trust
beat,
my
yo.
FM. We ain't that close, I can't let you know I had to put the pride aside, and it ain't easy. You can see, but this my life. I know we grinders, but love, this ain't right. My family needs me. Make me grind on lonely nights. Adjust my attitude to keep me right. So smoke some weed, babe. Time, minds, don't waste. I'll find my way. When they say that they want it, I know they lying, they fake. I don't need none of you niggas. Why do you get on my face? Why do you take a vacation? Play no game, no station. Please move out my way. You can't take my place, I know they want what they can't take. I know I wake up every day. We wake up thinking about that pain. We know shit ain't really that easy. We want them now, we getting greasy. And bitch, believe me. Time, minds, don't waste. I'll find my way. Hey, when they say that they want it, I know they lying, they fail. I don't need none of you niggas. Why do you get on my face?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Don for the Ent Radio's PRG podcast. I hope you enjoyed them tunes, man.
Oh man,
My man KC, that joint called Family. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him.
Oh Lord, jeez, that shit was funny.
Yes,
He's talking about that Telemundo on the break, Fred.
Fred Trip hit
Had
the
to show
accent.
my bilingual.
Fred be hitting some accents and different voices and shit, impersonations and whatnot.
It's funny because
Classic.
I talk Spanish better when I'm making fun, like kind of like that. But if I'm talking in my regular voice, I be forgetting mad words and shit.
I think that's part of the reason my Spanish is trash is because of the fact that I get like nervous and then I like second guess myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like in the same way, if I'm just kind of like playing around or like listening to music or whatever, like I can. You know, even in my head, I can understand the Spanish better.
You want to know something crazy though? It's like it's crazy that y'all feel that extra pressure because me being a black dude, and I don't feel that pressure because I don't need to speak Spanish. If I speak Spanish, I'm like, oh shit, you took the time to listen. But if you don't speak Spanish because you're Puerto Rican, then I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
the
that's
best,
the extra pressure right there.
the best.
Yeah, it is.
The
It's
problem.
true.
The problem with Puerto Ricans is that they're third, fourth generation in the United States.
Yeah.
And when it becomes third, fourth generation, after a while, the fourth, even the second, stops talking Spanish.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's the problem. Puerto Ricans.
I mean, my mom and dad, like, if you know my dad now, he has an accent. And my mom, not so much at all, really. She speaks good both languages. But my grandparents, my grandmother really didn't speak English at all, like, not very well.
Wow.
And, my Spanish sucks. Some of my cousins they speak Spanish really well.
Your kids speak Spanish?
Hell no.
Nah.
It's a shame.
You know how I
It's a
learned though?
shame.
I put all my favorite movies in Spanish, and then with the English subtitles on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, my Spanish is, it's all right. It's not that great at all.
He
But,
said it's all right.
yeah, man. But anyway, so this is this part of the show,
You know what I'm saying?
this segment, was
Once again, let's let the people know who we are. We PRG
Yeah.
Podcast, people reaching goals. You know what I'm saying? This is our second segment of this episode. You know
yes,
what I'm saying? Let's get into a little topic real quick. Y'all good with that?
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
My brother Keem. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking back and forth over the last week or so. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
probably
You had a
2
couple
weeks.
of You had a couple of things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
had a
saying?
couple of things I wanted to talk about. It was supposed to be like 2 weeks ago. It was really supposed to be on the episode that we recorded on my birthday.
What happened? In
What
that
had
episode?
happened, son?
Keem was gone for
But
like 2
what
weeks.
had happened was I was here. You know what I'm saying? I was in
Yeah.
the building.
Oh, you was here?
Yeah, I was up in this.
Yeah.
place, if y'all didn't know, I was here.
He was here.
But then I had to leave early. I got a little sick, man. I wasn't feeling well.
I make an apology to Carl though, man. My bad.
Yeah,
true that.
Fred also had to take off early, so
Yeah, we had to take.
For different
I didn't know he
reasons.
was coming until I got here.
yeah, it was a pop up thing. It was my birthday and
doubt.
whatnot, and then I had a segment I wanted to do with some things I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week I just kind of old man that fell asleep and didn't
Oh
wake
man,
up.
did I like
Oh,
that?
my
No, it's a bad thing. I'm not gonna front it. Nowadays, I can't even just lay down in my bed and watch TV because
Nah,
I
bro.
fall asleep.
Nah, bro.
I was just laying down watching TV like on some regular shit, just sitting there watching TV,
saying?
and I passed out, knocked out, like went to sleep, just didn't get up to come to the show. They ain't set no alarm for what? I didn't even think I was going to sleep. I'm watching TV.
Just 10 minutes.
Bro, I'm watching TV. I didn't even think I was going to nap. I'm just watching TV, and then you pass out.
Like, where's Keem?
That's that young man. That's that young man stuff. We can't do that anymore, man. We lay down for 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? We sleep. You know what I'm saying? We work so much.
It's bad, bro. It's bad.
It is bad.
I remember I used to be able to go out all night till like 3 in the morning and show up to work like a 5, 6.
Yeah,
that's back in the day.
My body cannot do that today.
Nah, bro.
Not at all, man. But yeah, so I wanted to do that last week and couldn't do it. But I'm here today.
Okay.
Because I wanted to talk about something specific, man, and basically the point was being growing pains and letting people grow and understanding that everybody likes seeing the finished product. People like seeing, or what they think is the finished product, honestly. Just, they like to see when the growth has already happened, like the flower has already bloomed, so to speak. But people don't like to see the ugly process or like to know about the ugly process or be a part of that process that takes somebody to get there. And I wanted to use myself as an example of that, because of the things that happened in my life, some of the things that I did in my mindset at one point, and just the person that I was at one point. And a lot of people don't know at all, because they see me today. They see, me. I work hard. I'm just with my kids and my wife all the time. I don't be doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, y'all be around me. I don't really be on shit, except that. You know what I'm saying? Just be around the house, doing that. And but at one point in time, it was a very different. I was a very different person. What I'm saying? Yeah. And basically, when I was younger, just coming up, I had a good childhood. I was raised well, but I at one point just kind of went astray, and for what now looks like a short period of time in my life, when I look back on it, it had a large impact though, even though it was a short period of time. Because now I look back, I'm 29 now. Some of the things that I think about, and some of the things that I even want to talk about, happened when I was 17, 18. You know what I mean? I caught my first felony charge. I was 18 years old.
Wow.
So I'm 29 now. So it was kind of a long time ago. It's just like they seem so distant as the years keep coming by. But at one point, it was a huge impact, and to this day, they still impact me because, like I talked about a few episodes back about what happened with my landlord
with the crib,
with the crib and shit. Because I had a felony that was like, nah, you can't. Never mind, we changed our mind. So that it impacted me for a long time, but. For a short period of time in my life, from like 16 to about 19, 20, I was just doing stupid shit. Actually 15, because like I was telling you, I got this tattoo here when I was 15, and my mom didn't know. It was just me.
So no tank tops?
Being stupid, T-shirts in the house, like just being dumb, like knowing I'm not supposed to do it,
right?
But just doing it anyways.
And you came from, as far as I know, you came from a good family, so and you didn't actually need to go out and do the things that you really did.
No, so
it's like
So the thing was, and that was one of the great things that helped me in the long run. But just being young and rebelling, and I would take any little thing. And everything. Some things were big things. Don't get me wrong. Like I always say, nowadays, is everybody has a sob story. True. But I would take my sob story when I was young, obviously, to an extreme. Especially when I was young at that time, because at 16, 17, 18, all I knew was my short life then. And now I realize. Now I know my life is short now, even at 29. So I have just a different outlook. But back then, you see life, you thinking, you know it all at 16 and 17 and 15 years old.
Real stubborn.
Yeah, very stubborn. But anyways, just being young and being ignorant in my thinking and the things that I was doing. I was in the streets, started out like most people do. selling weed. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, and I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of like the elementary thing. You know what I mean? It is kind of like,
I tried it. I was trash.
Yeah, it's just kind of the thing. You know, like, yeah, but you know, it's just the thing that it's just the easiest thing. It's accessible. It's what you do. You get your hands on it. And I didn't even, and it's funny because I didn't even smoke weed. I never even tried smoking weed until I was a senior in high school. And I started selling it and just being around it when I was a junior. Yeah, I was 16.
Wow.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't even say wow, because that's really not even eye-opening.
No, but it is a wow because I have kids and thinking of it at that age, you know, and I shouldn't have been, you know, I shouldn't have even have been doing it then, you know what I'm saying, like at all by any means, you know what I'm saying, but I was, and then I finished high school, and I did graduate high school.
That's a good thing.
You know, and the sad part was I literally purposely did the least possible thing I could do to graduate high school. Like I went to my guidance counselor and found out what credits I needed in what classes, and what I needed to do to be able to graduate.
Get out the way, get over with.
Yeah, and I got that shit over with, and I had like nothing but gym classes and electives my senior year, and I bucked on most of them because it didn't matter.
Right.
You
my
got
GPA was trash,
man.
but at the end of the day, I got my diploma and I finished.
Correct.
And then it was really bad because now I wasn't in school. I had no type of structure. I had a child when I was very young. Not that, you know, another thing that happened. You know, when I was in high school.
That's something that a lot of people don't have. They don't have a good family back and actually help you out with the kids.
I did. Thank God that I did.
Yeah, because if you didn't, like some of these girls get kicked out the house with their kid.
Yeah. Right.
And
my baby mama got kicked out the house.
Wow.
Yeah, but thank God she was able to come stay at our house
with
me and my family. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it wasn't like she was kicked out terribly, you know what I'm saying? But you know, her mother, they got into it, whatnot, and she kicked her out. But you know, that happened. But again, my family was there, and that's one of the biggest parts of everything that helped me and helped my story. You know, what was my family because of the fact that. You know, in doing all these things that were going on, I started out, just like I said, selling weed, doing little stupid things. After school ended, I don't have anything to do now. I don't have school to go to, at least any type of structure. So there was really just all day not doing shit. And then you're broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, is the problem. And then the issue with me was I'm broke and I don't like asking my mom for money. And obviously she don't want me asking for money because now I done graduated high school. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You're like a grown man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I'm saying? It's different. So me, you know, with my flawed mentality was, well, you know, I'm gonna keep, you know, trying to do street shit to make money. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get it.
And then, you know, the thing was too, it was 2008. I graduated high school. It was also the recession. So it was tough times on everybody. People were losing homes. It was not a secret that things were tough. You know, it affected my family heavily. You know, in a lot of different ways. So just seeing all the shit that was going on, it was just like, damn, everything's fucked up. Money's just not around. There's no way to get a job. There's no jobs. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of when the pills kind of started.
That is true.
That led to a whole nother thing too. Yeah, we was definitely doing that. You know, a lot of that was a big thing. Was selling pills, going to the doctor to get prescriptions.
I was doing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I was doing that in 2009, 2008.
yeah, that was a big thing. People were making tons of money doing that, man. And the thing that got me all fucked up though was the robbing. Was getting into robbing and doing that, and we had a whole plays, different type of plays, just where you know people, and you make yourself known to have you be able to get your hands on products. When people call you and they say, hey, listen, I want to spend X amount of money. Oh yeah, I get you whatever you want. Meet me here. You're not getting nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
So that was just how that went down.
I got you.
So it was a lot of that, and I got arrested for it. Eventually, we got caught for it. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's funny because you told me that you thought that you couldn't get arrested for something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Drugs.
I never forget. I said, man, how? Like what? Like how does this even make sense? You know what I mean?
What is the issue here?
The guy ended up calling the cops and they stole drugs.
Oh, they had the helicopter out and everything. That's just crazy. No, yeah, it was really.
They stole drugs from me.
It was crazy.
Now that's crazy.
It was wild, but it happened, and we went to jail for it, man, and it was very real. And I had gone to jail before that and it was funny because, to me, now I look back, that was my wake up call.
Right.
Like I said, we was into just being shady people. In all honesty, it was just everything we could do to rob somebody. So at one point, we had just made up some shit, mixed together some stuff and made it look like something.
Wow.
And we was doing that. So anyway, some of that was still left in my car, and I got pulled over, and it was in there, and I'm not thinking nothing because I forgot all about it. It was so later on. It was like 6-7 months later.
Oh,
and I didn't even know that was still in the car, and I got pulled over, and it tested positive for heroin.
Wow.
What? How?
I don't know. No, I'm gonna tell you how. Those little tests that the police have, it's the trash. They don't mean shit. Just to let people know, no matter what, you can take it to court. You'd be surprised at what you could beat in court. Breathalyzer test, trash. When was the last time?
I've heard of that.
When was the last time that was calibrated?
Right, I've heard that exact.
How long was that solid? That solution sitting in the back of that trunk?
Right.
Was it expired?
In the heat. Wow.
So, there's a lot of things you could beat in court. But anyways, that's one of the reasons why, because that tested positive for heroin and it was not heroin. You know what I'm saying? And
that's crazy though.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
But yeah, so that should have been like my little wake up call. That should have been my little I got lucky because it wasn't heroin. So, I beat that easy.
Did that spur you on because you beat it?
Yeah,
yeah,
at
no
the
doubt.
time,
No doubt,
yeah,
no doubt. That made you feel
definitely
like
at the time,
almost.
yeah, almost, because especially I went in there and I'm not gonna lie, the first day I was tripping. I was like, damn, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, heroin? Like, I know that ain't. And then it hit me later on that day. I was like, oh, I remember what that shit was, and that wasn't, you know what I mean? That's not heroin, so I'm good. So, but just my point was going in there, I had a $500,000 bond. I was charged. Yeah, like they were like,
bro.
Your charge carries a minimum was 25 years.
Damn, bro.
Nah, yeah, it was crazy. Like people were like
you was in the
looking
mix.
at me crazy when I was going in there. Like it was like
You had
a
a
thing.
case.
No, I'm telling you, yeah, like it was a thing. People were talking about it and were like, yo, that kid got caught with, because it was exactly 28 grams. They're like, oh, he got caught with an ounce of heroin, da. And I was 18 years old, baby face.
Right.
I weighed 155 pounds. I looked like a kid. I'm Puerto Rican, obviously, so I look Spanish. I look like a young plug, is what everybody thought.
Right.
So when I was only in it for a few days before I bonded out, but yeah, it was like, it was a thing. But that should have been my wake up call.
Should have been, right.
That should have been my little moment, I guess, to feeling glory, right? Whatever the case may be, I should have took that.
More.
Yeah, but nah, at the time it was a bad thing.
What was that Big Elon took it to trial, beat it. Now he feel he undefeated. He mean it.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah, man. But yeah, so during that time, man, like I said, those type of things fueled me, and they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have at all, because I want to get to
You feel like Mr. Untouchable, like
but for no reason though, man. I shouldn't even have been in that. Yeah, I felt like I was untouchable, and I felt like, okay, this is easy. I get the system now, man. This shit can be beat. You know what I mean? This shit is flawed. Once I know, because I had a lawyer. My mother paid. What was my bond? It was $500,000 at first. My mom got a lawyer. He came to court. He lowered it down to $75,000. So he paid 10% of that. So $7,500 to get out. The lawyer was $2,500 up front. Paid that, and then we had to pay him installments. Over time to pay him the rest of the money that we owed him. So to first of all, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem.
That's money. Some people can't even touch that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's an issue. But we had to pay all of that money to get out, and then I forgot my point. I'm saying of paying all that money.
Growth.
No, I know my point is growth, but there was a reason in saying why I wanted to say we paid all that bond money. I forget, but anyways, yeah. Back to what I was saying. So part of the I'm sorry, I got it now. Part of me saying it was that is the fact that it just showed that I didn't need to be in there.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So
because that money that they used to bail you out could have been used for a business.
I just didn't know it was available, but
true.
you know, it came to me later. You know, all these things came to me later, which is a shame because I could have known, I should have known. But anyways, you know, that money was paid out and you know, to get me out, and during that time, even afterwards, like even after I've gone to jail again. You know, now the second time that I got out, they put me on what's called pretrial release. So I'm on basically a probation. I have to go to court every Tuesday and pee in a cup. My stupid ass fails a drug test, right?
Still doing your thing.
Right, still being a fucking retard. So now I go to jail. Because, you know, me, I'm still young. Every time I go to jail, I get out.
Right.
Right, you know.
Like that's how it goes.
Bond, you got bond money. It's no big deal. Bond out.
Right.
Make it happen. Shit.
Exactly. I feel
Then I go to jail and they say you don't get a bond because you violated. In the state of Florida, anytime you violate, you don't get a bond. So, yeah, that shit hit me hard. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, fuck. So I had to sit in jail for like a month. It was like 20-something days, 28 days, 29 days. It was like a month. So that shit sucked. But I met a lot of people in there, and my stupid ass met this dude who put me on to something, and I freshly get out of jail, and I'm like, yo, I got something. You know, that didn't work out too well. Yeah, that don't work out too well. So 3 weeks later, I end up back in jail again.
Oh man, 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it was a shame, but so I end up back in there again, and it opened my eyes this second time because of the fact that I went in there, and so I just so happened to be in there with a lot of dudes who had got caught up in this sweep in Daytona, who were drug dealers, and they had, you know, they were kind of the top dogs, and even still to this day, you know, I know these dudes, and they get it in, and so. And you know, when we was in there, it's like every week you order your commissary, and you have your phone time and whatnot, and you know. I have as much phone time as they have. And if, you know, phone time, you have to pay for that, is my point. It's not free when you're in jail. And when you order your food, you have to pay for that. And most people don't get any money sent to them or have any money on them to pay for anything.
Right.
These guys are you know, the drug dealers, the dudes with money, and they ordering all this stuff every week, and I'm ordering just as much as them. And it was like crazy to me because I'm like, damn, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, because the only people sending me money is my brother, my mom, my baby mama sent me some money a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, a couple of females sent me some money, and like a couple of my homeboys sent me some money. You know what I mean? This is 2009. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, all that shit adds up. Just to the people that are around me and the type of environment I'm in, the life that I live, these people send me money, and I have as much money on my books as these same dudes. And I'm like, damn, how? Like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? And it just something that kind of hit me. You know, it was like, damn. So, you know, anyways, being in jail sucks. You know, I'm not going to get into detail about that. There's no way around that. And when you sit in there for weeks and weeks, it's fucking garbage.
I did that shit 3 hours in the holding cell.
That's all you need because it sucks. As soon as they close the cell on you and you have to sit in there and you're like, I can't go nowhere, I can't do nothing. It's trash. You got to shower in front of other men. You take a shit in front of other men. It sucks, man. It sucks, trash. Man. It's just not a fun place. So there's no way around that. You know, I don't need to elaborate on that too much. But it was eye-opening in all actuality. Everything I just told you is eye-opening when you live it. You know what I'm saying? And in all seriousness. And the county jail isn't as bad as any state prisons and anything like that, but you still do see violence. You still do see fights. You still do see things. And it opens your eyes to shit. You know what I'm saying? When you see things and how things operate in there and how it can be, you know, it does. It opens your eyes. So you know, all of that attribute to you know, me realizing that I didn't need to be doing that. And when I was looking around at the people, most of the people that are in jail are crackheads. Most of them are not people who are doing anything positive in life or doing anything productive. The people that you do see in there that are doing anything productive, you see them at intake because they might be in there for something stupid. They might be in there for a DUI. Slight mistake, you know what I'm saying? They bonding out. They're not the people who are about to go to prison. They're not, you know what I mean? That's not the people that you see in there at all. They're not cool. They're not, doing anything productive. Is one of the biggest things. And then I also noticed that a lot of people I hung around on the streets, on the outside. A lot of these dudes that have a lot of street credibility still to this day. Some of these dudes, went to jail and are still in there now for all type of different crimes that are considered to be real gangster, murders and robberies and whatnot. A lot of these dudes didn't have to be doing that. And there was no reason for them to be doing that. And I looked at even their lives, just like in the same way I looked at mine and looked at how I grew up and the situations that I was in. I didn't need to be doing them. Right. I was looking at the people around me. And people will really be surprised because they might not know these guys as well as I know them. You know what I'm saying? At how their lives could have been 1,000 times different.
Totally different.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, a lot of these guys had their father in their life who had a good job, was a hard-working guy. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to expand on that.
Yeah, we will. We will expand on that coming into this next segment. But that's why I wanted to finish off mine with that. You know what I mean? Just basically, people see me now and don't understand that. I was out here doing a lot of stupid shit. I was out committing a lot of robberies. I was doing people wrong, people that I knew wrong. Doing things like get my hands on jewelry that I knew was fake and going out of town and selling it. You know what I mean? Get my hands on counterfeit money and purchasing large amounts of things from people. And I know I'm giving them counterfeit money. You know what I mean? Fucking people over. A lot of these people I knew. You know what I mean? I burnt a lot of bridges doing stupid shit. That was me. And people wouldn't know that. And a lot of that was, a lot of who I am today is because I try so hard not to be that person. You know what I mean? But you'd be surprised at who I used to be and the shit I used to do and the shit I used to get myself into. It was ridiculous, And I'm thankful for like people like my brother and my mother, and I do have friends that were around. And even when I stopped wanting to do stupid shit like that, there's a lot of people that called me pussy, that called me everything in the book for not wanting to be, for wanting to be in the house with my girl because I don't want to be out in the streets doing stupid shit.
That's crazy.
They say you pussy whooped and all that, and there's a lot of people I don't talk to and I don't hang around or I just stop being around because of that. But there's some people that respected me for it and appreciated me for it and told me that, in the long run, I motivated them to try to do better. You know what I'm saying? What's up. So I appreciate those people because, there are people out there like that. So I think in saying all that, I just want to give people a perspective that you see me now and understand that I was a different person. I was one of these kids that you might see on the news.
True that.
For something crazy, and you might look at them and say, "What a piece of shit! He needs to go to jail for the rest of his life." You know what I'm saying? Because I could have gone to jail for my co-defendant did 5 and change. You know what I'm saying? Years in prison. Because he didn't have a lawyer.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the main thing.
So I could have, and it could have been worse than that. Like it was. Yeah, it was deep, man.
I mean, people could change their life around.
Yeah, like if I didn't have a lawyer on that first bullshit case, a lawyer because the thing was this, like I told you, it wasn't heroin and it tested for that. But the only reason that we were even able to get to that conclusion was because I had a lawyer who was able to make them take that test sample to the FDLE in Tallahassee.
Wow.
And in the lab, and then they can really test it and see what it really is, and they see that it isn't heroin, and then it makes them drop the charges. But if I didn't have a lawyer, that process probably wouldn't have went down.
And that'd be normally,
and God knows what would have happened to me.
That's normally the main problem with a lot of these kids. They don't have the privilege of having like good lawyers. They get a
public defender?
But yeah, public defender. They're terrible. They'll run you through the system, and you end up being lost.
Yeah, I've seen public defenders that are absolutely garbage. They don't do anything. I mean, it's literally whatever the state tells them, they turn around and tell
crazy.
you. They look at the state that's sitting in front of you, and they ask them, "What are you offering? 2 years, blah blah blah," and they turn around and just tell you, "All right,
take that.
You can sign here. If not, take it. We'll go to another court date."
That's crazy. A lot of it has to do too. Which I'm having a problem with is media. Media is like this. This is what I'm going into. This weekend, my lady has a cousin, right? He was just chilling in his house, sleeping. Someone said, someone went into a bar in his hometown shot it up. Her cousin's last name is similar to the guy's street name. So they look up her cousin, look it up, and this is like a quiet town. So they ended up just taking the plastic off them, like bomb squad shit, like the squad gear. Took off the plastic off it. This is a quiet ass town. Is that our time?
Yes, I mean you can finish that up though.
No, but quiet ass town. So they end up coming in there with rifles, like the whole nine. Knocked the door down. They bust the door down because he had like some stuff on his record. So here comes the media, all hyped, and the police chief, and they go on TV, and they actually say, "We got the culprit. We're glad we got this guy off the streets. He's a menace, blah blah blah," without even knowing the full-fledged facts on this guy. Come to find out, he wasn't even the guy that shot up the people. Now, my girl's cousins' lives are in danger because the people think that he has involvement now in shooting that guy.
Wow.
So they're threatening her whole family. Now they're scared.
That's crazy.
And it's kind of like the media. The media's fault. They be doing shit like that. It's just fucked up.
They don't care. They think this is all play. This is real people's lives they play.
Real people's lives, and I feel bad. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
They just care about the race.
See, and that's the thing, man. Like I say, and that's why I look at at every situation differently, and people will feel offended by that because it might be a sticky situation like a murder or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I always say, like, you just never know. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I might hate to say it, but I'm not saying this person is innocent or anything. But if people are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, you never know the situation. Because look at me with that first case. You know what I'm saying? That's something that looks terrible. It looks crazy. They could have painted me as a picture of being, some heroin dealer or something like that. And that wasn't the case at all. But do we
the best
we
part
take
though,
a break.
just before we break, the best part though, you know what I'm saying, you was at a point, you know what I'm saying, you was doing your thing, you was, living your life. And then, you came to a point where you realized that what you was doing wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? You changed it up, and now look where you at now. You're a whole different person.
Yeah, definitely.
Family man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good, you know what I'm saying? Good,
Yeah, I went to school, man. I got a trade, and I do that, and I've been working hard at that for years. Like, I'm married, I have my kids, and, I live my life. I own a house.
Just signed out in the house,
You know what I'm
too?
saying? Yeah. I mean, I own my house, own cars and all that, and do other things and do well. And I look at a lot of people who I used to hang around, and a lot of them, like I said, some of them are in prison. Some of them, a lot of them are dead, and that's no bullshit. Like, these are dudes I knew well. They knew my mother. They hang around my house, and they're dead now.
Wow.
It's crazy. And other ones that are alive that just aren't doing well at all. Because they're still in the streets, and let me not say they're not doing well. They might be able to show you $20,000 cash, but like I say, they're not.
I mean,
It's a street life, though. It's not nothing.
that's
That
not
could
the
all
only-
be taken away like this.
No, it's
and
not.
that's not the
It's
only
nothing.
way
It's
to gather
nothing.
20,000.
No, not at all. Not at
You know
all.
what I'm
Not at
saying?
all.
And that's really the point. You know what I'm saying? That there are multiple options for people out here nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be always about the street.
No, not at all. My point is saying in that is like, they may be able to show you cash, but what behind that is, a lot of these dudes live with their mom. A lot of these dudes don't have nothing. They don't have a car. They don't have nothing. They just got fast money, and they spend it fast, and that's the life they still living. That's the life that we lived when we was young. You know what I mean? We was doing that. We was 17, 18, 19. I was doing that.
You gotta grow up from that.
Like it's crazy. Still doing that now. We almost 30, and you got kids now and all that. Like, it's crazy. People still living that life. A lot of them.
They say the time that you spend in jail for doing those crimes and getting caught, you might as well have got a regular job, regular career, and you would have made the same amount of money.
If I would have started my trade 5 years earlier, man, it would have been, way different, way better, But just like I was saying, the biggest thing was me noticing people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, taking a route they shouldn't be taking, and I was one of them. But we got to go into a break, so
no doubt.
We'll elaborate on it on the next segment.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to play another tune. We're going to get into my man,
People
Brother Chino.
goals.
You know what I'm saying? We play a lot of his joints on here. This one is called Yo BK.
Shout out
You know
to
what
Brother.
I'm
Where
saying?
Brother Chino from again?
He's from Yonkers.
Yonkers.
Shout out to Yonkers.
And all the other hard niggas, they
You know
come
what I'm
from
saying?
Yonkers.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember, we had Biles and Fred in here arguing about who said that first.
Yeah, it was definitely Damn, now I forgot.
All right, well, we about to throw this joint on.
Who was it, Fred? Who was it? I remember.
It was 50.
You said it was 50.
It was 50.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So let's take this break real quick. 950 Ent Radio, PRG Podcast. Yeah.
Had to run it up, had to get to it fast, had to run it up, had to get to a bag, 2 lead up, so I'm watching my bag, my realest run down when we dressing all black, now I'm up, put my diamonds on froze, she ain't in love with the life that I chose, had to choose to go out, that's just how it goes, I don't want no love, some shit that she knows, she said she love me, want nobody but me, but out of the money, who told her to love me, she said she love me, want nobody but me, but out of the money, who told her to love me, who told her to love me, you fucked up my bro, now you look like a dummy, I'm getting to this money, mad at me cause you broke, I laugh cause it's funny, I hop in the Maybach, don't flash it bread cause my young gon' take that, got no time for the chit chat, got some comments with wifey, we fucked and we laid back, got some realers out in High Bridge, got some realers out in Uptown, all my realers be on some fly shit, I'm a Southside realer from YO, come and test me, you know I'm Mongo, if a nigga asks you to rob me, the answer to that better be no, if not then you gon' see this photo, now you lost your life being a hero, I'm up but I started from zero, I bust it over, yeah I'm fucking it up, I get love when I pop to the club, pour the take right up in my cup, see the drip, now she fall in love, growing up, all I had was a slug, I put her on, now she call me the plug, I know, gotta ride on my pole, niggas hating on me, I ain't never scared to squeeze, niggas tryna run down, we gon' make sure niggas bleed, from the streets I play my role, OG told me get that dough, lost my brother, I'm the past, now I'm pouring up a four, now I'm pouring up this lean, all this pain I can't you see, I've been out here in these streets, I've been trapping in the peace, from the east that's where I be, niggas know how I'm coming, I pull up my king, get the dumping, bully near what I jack, man, they all on my ass, nigga I'm counting these racks, I bet they know how I roll, niggas be talking about me on the low, hop on the phone and I gotta blow, cameras they flashing, they loving the kid, niggas be prying, I ride with a stick, talking about me, you know about shit, domination, now they hating my trip, niggas talking about me, yeah, help me, whoa, ride around through my town with a bow, niggas hating, so I'm staying on go, I'm staying on go, cheat on my slummy, that nigga my brother, if I got like every teeth, I ain't telling them, niggas be talking that footy, yeah, yelling, that footy yelling, yeah. So 8 and hold on in that 30. See the ops, we gon' do them dirty. Blow it back, that I shit in a hurry. Told bro, I got him, don't worry. My diamonds be dancing. I realize the chain, try to take it, we blasting. Y'all niggas be capping. I'm niggas be pussy, them niggas be acting. But means on me, yeah, she loving my drip. But I'm rolling, I ain't hit me a lick. Southside realer who always got a grip. Smoking that ops right out of the zip. Red bottoms, yeah, I'm fancy. My shorty styling, yeah, she classy. In the sheets, you know she nasty. Blow it back out, calling me daddy. Pockets heavy, yeah, my pockets so full. Don't hit a stain unless you gon' blow. Bitches love how I switch on my flow. Pull up to the function, my realers gon' show. Had to get a bag, I had to run it up. Sippin' that out my double cup. Now I'm up, you wanna fuck with us. Fuck the old me, that's what I once was.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is 950 Ent Radio's PRG Podcast.
People reaching goals.
Yes, sir. That was Brother Chino.
Brother Chino.
Yeah, his joint was called Yo BK.
From Yonkers, New York.
Make sure you check him out on Spotify.
He got some shit though. I fuck with it.
You know what I'm saying? I've been following him on IG. He been dropping a lot of new tracks. I fuck with it.
That up north vibe, that new up north vibe. You know what I mean? I've been fucking with it.
He's actually coming down, but to the Miami area though. Like a week before we hit the Miami area, so. But I was trying to link up with him, but it was like a 3-hour drive. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't coming to Orlando to do that. See y'all."
Yeah, I don't fuck with y'all like that. Nah, it's all good though. But yeah, what we was leaving off on, right? But people doing things that they shouldn't be goddamn doing.
And number one, you know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for putting your personal story out here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As an example, as a positive, uplifting,
thank you, sir.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Example for the people.
That's definitely a sign of growth because, you know
100%.
what I mean? With being, becoming of age, vulnerability comes with that because us as men, you know what I'm saying, we taught to hold a lot of shit in. So,
correct.
You know, that shows that you're evolving as a person.
Yeah, definitely. Much appreciated.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right, so you gave your story, and that makes me think of something else, you know what I'm saying? Because you did touch on points that, your background, well, before, you know what I'm saying, before I go into that. So I understand fully, you know what I'm saying, that everybody has a different hand that they're dealt, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Some people come from situations where they don't have no choice but to turn to the streets, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody, but some people do. You know what I'm saying? They don't, maybe they aren't blessed to be in a situation where they can get jobs.
That's all they know.
You know what I'm saying? That's all they know. You know what I'm saying? They may come from family backgrounds that, that's all they know. Or, there's a lot of different elements, a lot of different situations. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? I am 100% aware. I understand and I empathize with people from those type of scenarios. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, you know what I'm saying, there are people, and like, my brother Keem just, talked about, there are people that come from backgrounds where they have resources, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, double, 2-parent homes, not necessarily rich, but, I call them like working middle class. Working middle class. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, again, I understand if you come from a scenario where you don't have resources, but if you do come from a scenario that has resources, why do people, and especially people from our community, choose the street life when they don't necessarily have to? Their parents are in the crib, they're good role models. Some of them might even have special talents.
I think it has something to do kind of like with being young and not being able to get a job too at the same time. Because he said it was during a recession. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get a job, so that's kind of how he turned into selling drugs and stuff like that and doing things he was doing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like nowadays it's sort of like some kids are way too young to actually work sometimes. So what they have to do is get it how they live. Just pretty much do what they. Only thing they can do is probably just sell drugs, and they see the boys in the block making their money, just driving the nice cars, and that's what they want to do. So, and they can't apply for McDonald's, they can't apply for Subway. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know what? I might as well just sell drugs for now.
So you're saying maybe surroundings?
Maybe surroundings too.
But I do want to, because you said, applying for McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Now, that might not be fast money, but that is money. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people who hustled up off of their little McDonald's checks. You know what I'm saying? Bought little hoopty cars, you know what I'm saying? And so, again, those are people who choosing those resources. You know what I'm saying? So, is it because it's fast money, or, you know what I'm saying?
See, and that's my thing. Like I said, I don't want to cut you off, but
no, you good.
You were coming on a good point too, where you say have special talents, because that's a whole nother thing. Like I saw a lot of people, like I said, who had dads that were truck drivers, dads that were mechanics, welders, had hard jobs, moms that were RNs, that were CNAs, that had good jobs, that worked hard, and all of that, but I also saw guys who were fucking football phenomenons when they were kids. Right, bro. Even when we were in high school. Some of these guys that I know were some of the best players at our local high schools that we went to in football and basketball. They were in the paper, all of that. You were probably at the games and don't even realize that some of these same dudes, ended up just giving that up,
right? And
just giving it up.
That's my question.
Not even pursuing it. Not even finishing out high school with it. Just straight turning their back on it in their 10th, 11th grade year, dropping out of school and just dropping off the map.
But back in the day, like that was our culture, though. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, going home from school early, fucking not being smart, and fucking getting faded and everything was a part of our culture. I mean, that's
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
It still is. To a certain extent.
Is, but at the same time, being a genius or being a computer tech or being a whatever they considered a nerd back in the day wasn't popular.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were so focused on being in the street, selling joints, getting money, getting Jordans,
getting pussy,
getting all that stuff, getting change, just getting recognition in general. And right now, I think we're on a forward sway to where, not so much materialistic things matter right now.
Correct.
Shout out to Gucci, because y'all fucked everything up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we're on the forward way to where we're looking at ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
We're like, hey, what can we provide for ourselves? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, but back to y'all point.
Okay, my bad.
No. I think it has a lot to do with we have to actually show these kids pretty much hard work. We have to show them a good work ethic. A lot of these kids they don't want to be the Indian. They want to automatically be the chief. You have to work up to be the chief. You know what I'm saying?
A sense of entitlement.
And sometimes people think they want to be a boss, And it's not what it's cracked up to be. Let me tell you. When they get up to the top, they see how stressful it is, and they fucking pull their hair out, ready to kill themselves.
Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
Yeah, it's
for real. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But yo, I also so I posed this, you know what I'm saying? I posed this question on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, to people, you know what I'm saying? And we did, you know, we got some feedback. Thirst World Problems podcast at Thirst World Pod. You know what I'm saying? He said the adrenaline and increasing popularity of street culture. Some reason you see rich kids get caught up in the dealing or ripping off of cars.
Yeah.
And some of us use the escape from the pressure or the mundane. So I guess
See, I'm glad he brought that up because I did want to say that too. See, and that's something I also wanted to say. It has nothing to do with color either. I don't want people to think that it had anything to do with color because I do know many
people
of white boys.
Different cultures and different backgrounds.
People of all different colors, all different backgrounds. White, black, I mean, I'm serious, Mexican, like kids of all different backgrounds, kids who were, and I know some people who have some very tough stories. I mean, I really know these guys. They do have tough stories, but they even still, I know for a fact, has so many outlets.
Could have made a different
that were turned down. I mean, stuff that I seen with my own two eyes that I was like, man, damn, that's fucked up.
You know what's a good example for that? Dave East, the artist. He said he was all good through high school.
He was.
Good, and he even got a scholarship to go to college and play ball. And then he decided to sell
drugs. That man started on the same AAU team with Kevin Durant.
Wow.
With
started?
Yeah, he started with Michael Beasley. Man, I saw the little slam mag. First of all, he's like 6'5". I saw the video interview. He was dunking. He was hitting threes. They had Michael Beasley on there too. Michael Beasley was talking about how he could score so well and whatnot. I mean, he was and he's even said it. Once he got to college is when he started fucking up, like selling drugs and shit.
So what's the thing that turns everybody to that culture to make them want to fuck up what they have?
That's the question.
What's the question?
See, my thing is, I think it's what it is this. If you are looking for money, you're going to try to find it any way you can, right?
And the quickest way you can.
Yeah, the quickest way that you can. And at the end of the day, most people will say, oh, I can't get a job. That's bullshit. You just don't want to go through the process of filling out application after application and taking the time to go get a fucking job. It is a work ethic. You're not going to fill out one application and get that first fucking job.
No.
Real quick, my mom said this. She said, sometimes looking for a job is a full-time job in its own right.
Facts.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
a good one. Well, another good example, like how bad I wanted a job when I was a kid. When I first got into FedEx.
Oh, I know this story. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally walked.
Great.
I applied. I didn't get a call. The guy said, "I'll call you after Thanksgiving." He didn't call me after Thanksgiving to come in. You know what I did? I showed up the day after Thanksgiving and just started working in the truck. I walked in randomly, like I was ready to work. I started. The guy, some other manager walked up to me. He was just like, "Oh, you the new guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the new guy." They put me in a truck, had me working in there for about an hour. I'm ready an hour in. I don't know. I played it stupid. I was like, he told me after Thanksgiving to come in. Yeah. And he didn't tell me that. He said he was going to call me on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that main guy calls. He looks at me like, huh? He was like, come on. Brings me to the office, makes me sign my paperwork.
There you go.
I'm working for FedEx now.
And I can vouch for that story because somebody that works, used to work there with him, was there and told me that story. Just like that, said that, like he was like, nah, fuck that. He went in there, just started moving boxes, started doing his thing, was working and shit. Was there for like a little while, and then finally they came and they were like talking to him, and then they were like, man, come on, man, just come do this paperwork and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
What they
he
gonna
just
tell
muscled his way in that bitch.
What they gonna tell me? I worked an hour already. You know what I'm saying? They gotta pay.
Y'all gotta pay me something. Fuck out of here.
Fuck it. We might as well
that's
keep
hilarious, man. But nah, I just many people, man, don't want to take the time to fill out applications. Like I say, make that initiative to get a job. When I got out of school for the trade that I was going to, I literally made a script, man, because I would call these places and I would say the same thing. If they were hiring and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I would show I had a resume. I had, I made it a thing. I would Google all the places around me and just, like, I worked my ass off to get a job in that field. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take that same initiative back in the day. Like, we would just throw out an app here and there, whatever was simple.
Yeah,
like,
I'm looking.
I remember getting a job at this little warehouse because it was one of those hiring agencies, and somebody had the link on that. So it was just like, yo, they need like 50 people, man. Just literally just show up there. So we literally showed up, and they hired us on the spot and started working. So we got a job there, and it was decent money for a little while, but like simple stuff. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to work hard to actually look for a job. I noticed that.
Correct. I actually tried to sell drugs too at one point. I was trying to sell weed. I was so trash at it.
You don't make no money selling weed. It's so terrible. There's no profit margins, bro. It's pathetic.
I think I got an ounce, and after I sold, I think I made like $20. I was like, what?
People who sell weed sell it because it's just something that everybody
they sell it to smoke.
Yeah, sell it to smoke it and make maybe small profits here and there, $50, $60, $80, $100 at the most. But you're not making much money.
But you have to get a lot to make that much.
Yeah, you're not even.
And for that, it's a risk. It's a risk that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So what I ended up, sorry to cut you off. So what I ended up doing, I just started mowing lawns. So I just walked out. I literally told my mom, yo, for my birthday, don't buy me anything. Buy me a lawnmower. What she did, she bought me a lawnmower. What I did, I went to every neighbor in the block. Yo, I'll cut your front for 10 and your back for another 10. So it's $20 for each house. By busting my ass, and I pretty much got my own money that way until I was able to work and eventually.
So you made more money cutting grass
than
selling grass.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway,
good one, Blakk. Good one.
I tried.
You still stay in the same house back in the day on right down the street from the main street in Deltona?
No, I don't stay there no more.
No, I'm talking about back in the day. Did you stay there when you were cutting lawns?
Yeah, I actually charged my own mother because there was a person.
I wish I would.
No, but listen, there was a person she was paying to cut the lawn. I was like, I'll do it. Just pay me. You know what I'm saying? Keep it in the family.
My kids said that too. I was like, all right, bet.
What happened?
I haven't bought a lawnmower yet for them to do it. No, I'm gonna make him do it. He ain't gonna finish it. No, he better.
They're gonna cut the front porch.
Yo, all right. So let me piggyback on that whole thing about selling weed or whatever. It's crazy because the same entrepreneurial, I hope I said that right, spirit that it takes to sell weed or to whatever you selling in the streets is the same basic principles that you can use to open up a legal business. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Young Jesus said himself, if you're selling work, you can sell real estate.
Exactly.
Corporate thugging.
But it's like these kids that sorry to cut you off, like these kids that be selling sneakers now.
Correct.
Oh,
like that's amazing.
Yo, these kids be 12 years old with $5,000 at a sneaker con.
Yeah.
And they're buying shoes at $2 selling shoes for $1,200. It's crazy.
T-shirts, shirts, Supreme shirts, all that. They be doing it.
But anyways, back to the whole thing about kids who are who don't have that privilege of selling because a lot of these kids too that are selling these shoes I know kind of come from rich places but are even able to get these shoes in the first place, yo. But some of these dudes, like I said, I know guys who do have tough stories, man. Everybody has a stop story is my point. I know guys who had tough stories, crazy shit that they've told me that happened to them when they was young.
No, I agree
it's
with
fucking
you.
sad. Really was.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
But no, of course. And I'm going to play devil's advocate too because like I said, at the end of it, I still looked at them and realized like that's like, okay, one of these same guys who had such a tough childhood, man, he told me about so much shit. I know his younger siblings and, I've heard all of it. All of them were so talented sports-wise. It was crazy. I'm talking about some of the stats that I've seen and the things they were able to do in sports or something I've never, it was crazy. I was like, wow. And never, and had an opportunity to take it. I've even spoken to their older sibling or like an older cousin and an uncle in the family and was like, yo, they dumb, all of them gave it up. Like, just mad. He be selling, one of them like older uncles be, talking shit. Yeah. Like, yo, they gave this shit up to try to be thugs and to be in the streets, man.
It's not
because he was that uncle that was talking to me was the man in that city at one point, like years ago, and they were his younger. He helped train them coming up. They even told me how he would come pick them up. He made it a thing to come pick them up and make them run sand hills and make them get out there and line up, put on their pads and helmets and line up and all of that. No, exactly. And it was paying off though. They had it. They were great in sports. And they just and like so he was talking shit, like, they gave it all up, try to be thugs, be in the streets, there's so many of these dudes, so many of them, man. Like, yo, bro, there's a dude, not real quick, man. I remember walking into his mom's house and you go into his room, and he had a huge poster of him when he was like 15, bro, just dunking, like, you know what I mean, like cock back about to dunk. When he was like 14 or 15 at this big AAU tournament, or no, I think it was what back in the day was these 3-on-3 tournaments. What the fuck were they called? Hoop It Up. Okay, they were called Hoop It Up tournaments. That. They were like 3-on-3 tournaments, but they were a big deal. And a huge pitch, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you were raw like that back then. You know what I'm saying? And another one just gave it up though, like just unbelievable talent, and like they just literally stopped playing sports to go in the streets.
It's like my cousin David, really talented,
great fighter, so talented, man,
talented, and he ended up with, and it's not even that he's gangster. He just ended up with 2 kids.
Yeah. And I mean that happens
and
too,
though. And he's not finding time to actually go out
trying
there
to raise his kids and do his thing. Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough, man.
It is tough.
I think we got to get away from that narrative that we don't have no options.
Yeah, the options are there. That's my point exactly.
I mean, it might not be perfect. It's that not even might not. It's not perfect. I think we can all agree that, you know, the landscape of the world is not perfect, but there are options. You know what I'm saying? Even for a black man.
Because there's a lot of people who have made it out.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're not the ones that are most visible. The ones that are most visible are the people on the videos, and you know what I'm saying? But there are options. You know, even if you're not rich, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go too far into it, but, you know, my boss is a very successful black man. We the same age. You know what I'm saying? He came from, you know what I'm saying, tough background. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into his stuff, but, you know, he came from tough backgrounds. But he's a very influential person in my company. You know what I'm saying? And he
making good money, legal money. And he's also responsible for other people. Did he have to go to school?
He did, but while he was on the job, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
He stepped his stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So not only, and what I'm really trying to stress here is that not only did he make an option for himself, he made an option for other people around him. You know what I'm saying? By opening the door up. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how you infiltrate the system. Yep. Getting inside and letting other people, you know what I'm saying, who are, you know what I'm saying, deserving.
I would like, and not to cut you off, but I would just like to talk to that guy and talk to other people like that, because that's a great thing that we need to bring up too, while mentioning all these people that I know that chose to take the bad route, or all people that we all know that chose to take the wrong route, is to mention people that do have negative backgrounds, or we need more,
those examples
that did turn it positive. Correct. And I really want to know what it is. What was the difference? Because for me, like, you know, like I say, I did a lot of stupid stuff in my life because during that period I looked at negative things, and I had this sob story, and
you had a negative mindset,
like it was so bad, you know, bad and blase, blah, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, now I look back, and at that time I did finally start to realize all of the positive things. You know what I mean? And I need to emphasize that. So I want to figure out how can we figure out what makes people look at what makes certain people tick, what made me look at all of the things negatively in my life and use that to fuel me in a negative manner. Right. Instead of using all the positive things and using that to my advantage. Like, you know what I mean? You know, like what makes certain people who might grow up in a low income household, or might grow up in a violent household, might grow up in a household with no father, or grow up in a household with no mother, because I do know somebody like that, grew up in a household where the mom was just not around. Wow. And it was the opposite. The dad was the one I was holding down. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what makes people who grew up in these type of environments pick which way to go. Yeah. Correct. What make, you know, how can you...
I think that's a very good topic of discussion.
The only thing I can think of is, and I hate to say it, but it's money. If you can come through and show them, hey, I'm influential. Correct. And I'm doing positive things. And hey, man, look, I got a nice car too. I live in a big house too.
We don't have.
You want to see me in a 5-pound gold chain? I got a 5-pound Cuban link, man. I put it on. I don't wear it, but I got one.
I believe a big problem is we don't have enough images of successful people that look like us in the community.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you said in the community, like locally,
like people,
the regular people.
Because once they make it, they leave.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I do agree with you.
Don't get rich and leave the hood. Get rich and make the hood what you want it to be.
But that also has to be a two-way street, though, because
can't be one man doing it.
It can't be one man doing it. And
Vince Carter.
If you know that I'm a hardworking, if I see my brother, if I see Fred, he's a hardworking individual. He's providing for his family. If I'm not doing the same, I gotta have a responsibility that I'm not gonna fuck with Fred. If I want Fred to stay in the hood, then I can't give Fred reasons to leave. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I can't be I can't break into Fred's house if I want him to stay in the hood. You feel me? I have to take responsibility for that. I have to figure something out for me to do.
We gotta go back to the days where everybody was raising their kids as a community.
Correct.
Everybody was like trying to make the neighborhood better. Just
you know,
it's
it's funny you say that because there was a video that had went viral, and it was of an older black man who was saying that same thing. How back in the day, you know, my neighbor whooped my ass.
Right.
You know, and my mama, like, it was known. Right. Neighbor see me doing something crazy, whoop my ass, take me back to my mom, and to let my mom know my mom whoop my ass again, or my daddy whoop my, you know what I'm saying? And he was saying that, and a lot of people saying we need to get back to da-da-da-da. And then, you know, I was at work, and I was with this older white, like, real redneck guy. And it's funny because we was talking, and he said the same thing. He said, man, listen, I come from a different era. I come from an era where if the neighbor see me acting up, I get a whooping. That's exactly what he told me. I get a whooping, and then she take me home, and I get another whooping. You know what I mean? Like, it was just different. I have a different discipline than y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't refute him because I don't come from that era. Neighbor couldn't touch me. Goddamn crazy. My daddy would shoot the shit out of everybody. Yeah, like, it's not going down.
I had a guy in the neighborhood slap fire out of me, boy. Ooh, boy, because me and my brother used to have this little weird little kid game where it was disrespectful, but we would be like, you speaking in English, and when they go, huh? If you say huh, we smack you. It was stupid.
What?
It was stupid.
Yo, what the fuck?
It was so
What kind of game is that?
I'd have slapped the shit out of y'all too, boy. Listen, I wish one of these kids would.
I tried that game
the day I go to jail again.
I tried that game on a grown man.
Yeah,
he slapped fire.
Thank God he did.
Nobody slapped me that hard to this day, bro. He slapped me so hard that I didn't even cry. I just stood there in shock.
What you would do to a kid right now if he did that?
Yeah, I don't.
Man, I'm gonna punch the shit out of one of these kids.
You're older now, man.
That's a good question.
It's awkward though. I don't
Let's
know. I'll probably like grab him and probably like what the fuck?
Nah, I'm definitely gonna pop. I'm gonna at least jab him.
I don't know.
Give a nice
I think
straight.
it depends on what mood I'm in at that point.
Love tap, little nigga.
Catch me when I'm in love mode, you know, I might be cool. You catch me in a different mode, I might react a little differently. Anyway,
I think he slapped me twice.
Wow, son.
So we should start slapping these kids now. When we see them doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing,
from today's session,
slapping the shit out of them. Somebody should slap me. No, I'm just playing.
But yo, you know, I really think that a big thing to curb people from choosing that path, you know what I'm saying, especially when they have other options, is to let them know that it is possible to be paid and live the life that you want to live.
You got to be a dope boy to have money.
You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I think is positive.
Just because I've been listening to this album all day, I'm going to shout it out.
Okay.
2 Chainz dropped the album and it said, ball or goes, rapper goes to the league. You know what I'm saying? And that's and on that album he got deep and shit. You know, it's
that was a narrative in the hood for a while.
Yeah.
But especially for a guy like him who's 6'5".
He played college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But what else you supposed to do, right? You 6'5", boy. You better play ball.
Correct.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But it was just
he had a high GPA.
But that's just the narrative that we see. You know what I'm saying? I can ask my son today, and it's one of the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to break him out of that.
It's exactly, that's the narrative, and it's hard to point them at like who's the cool banker,
right? No, I got you.
Who's the poppin' ass like stockbroker,
right?
Or who's the cool ass.
You know, who's the cool AC refrigeration guy?
Exactly.
Bill Cosby.
Or electrician, the plumbers, the welders. No, these kids don't.
Like the Cosby Show. That was positive images. That was showing a black family could be doctors and lawyers. I mean, but it don't even have to be just that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing we have to get out. You don't have to necessarily be a doctor or a lawyer to live a good life. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, I don't think he graduated 4th grade. You You know what I'm saying? But he owned property. He always had a nice car. You know what I'm saying? And that was from just driving a truck. He wasn't in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. See, I have a cousin of mine who wasn't the greatest in school, but he's a hard worker.
Correct.
And always has been.
Correct.
And makes great money at his job and does very well for himself because he but just always a hard worker. He's a guy. He's up like 20 hours a day. He's just I don't know. He's wired different, but he's not a he's not a book smart guy. He's just a hard ass worker, and he's very good with his hands, and he picks up things quickly.
You know
so he does well for himself. You know what I mean? And some people would do well for themselves in that way. You know, being hard workers and whatnot. You don't necessarily like have to go to school and be super smart. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
That's a way.
And that's a great way to go, especially nowadays with just knowing technology and the way things are going. You know what I mean? I feel like having to be book smart is a better thing nowadays. It is a more prioritized thing, I think, nowadays, is to be book smart because of the way just society's going.
Or street smart. But I feel like
you gotta be both. You gotta be both.
Yeah, but I feel like street smart is not real. I feel like street gangsters are just people that didn't have it to be legitimate businessmen. So they end up doing the drugs and stuff like that. But I feel like drug dealers, if they had the how you say, what's the word I'm looking for? If they
opportunities,
had like the opportunities or like the things to actually do straight business, they would do it.
Yeah, because a lot of
great at it.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of it, like I said, it's the same. It's the same mentality. It's the same thought process.
Yeah.
You
just gotta
logistics and things of that nature. It's the same thing.
Find the job that fits the criteria of what you're doing right now. Because just like I said earlier, selling dope. Well, Jeezy said selling dope is just like selling real estate. If you can flip dope, you can flip real estate.
Correct.
You just gotta find your niche.
Correct.
You gotta find what you like doing.
Correct.
You know what I mean, it's all the same thing. You turn your money over. You know what I mean? It's all the same.
Especially nowadays with the internet.
But at the same time,
many opportunities.
It's fucked up because all we see, growing up, and all we hear about is that way of making money.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's glorified in our culture.
Correct.
We see it all the time, and I think that's why a lot of people default to that. You know what I mean? It's fucked up because the media does have a lot to do with it. But just seeing shit in the media today that has the attraction of so many people, the Tristan, Chloe shit, the fucking Momo shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything is just in your eyes and makes you want to believe, whatever. And people believe shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, my baby moms came to me. I shouldn't be saying this on the podcast. She came to me about that Momo stuff. You know what I'm saying? And both of my my little ones have cell phones. My oldest one, my son Brian Jr. He has a cell phone, but he's 12 years old. So somebody like I checked his PS4 messages and shit like that. So people have been hitting him up, like random ass strangers and shit. And
really?
But he's old enough to say, hey, you're fucking weird. Leave me alone. He don't use the F word, but he's like, you're weird. Leave me alone. He literally said that.
Oh shit!
But
what's going on, man? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Where was I going with this? It's just the culture we're in these days. Where was I going with that?
I'm not sure, bro.
No, but I hear you, man.
But I wanted to speak on those topics, you know what I'm saying, as far as why, you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to shed a little light and kind of, if anyone hears this, what I really want you to take from this is that it's other options. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, selling drugs or basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of opportunities out here for people to get their money.
Exactly. There's tons of opportunities. Take them. A lot of people are good in sports. A lot of people are good in band and music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know plenty of people who come up going to church, being raised in the church. Let's be real. A lot of people are raised going to church.
You can make money in the church.
Yeah. Not even that. You can,
there's jobs
learn how to preach, and that's all you need.
But I know kids. In all seriousness, I know kids who were raised playing music and singing in the church and stuff. And guess what? Their whole life, they never had to pay for any instruments. They never had to pay for any music
those
lessons.
are jobs.
They never had to do anything.
Let's not get confused.
And they get full rides to schools,
Correct.
to colleges.
You could work at
play in a band.
You could work at BB King's.
Correct.
You could work at this.
You can have full job. You can have jobs doing everything, playing bands on cruise ships, on
cruise
all different type of venues all over the place.
You know
the music industry and the entertainment industry is deep with different people in and out. Like I tell my son that now, like, listen, you play all this basketball, we have you trained, I have you doing all this because my ultimate goal, honestly, all I want him to do is be able to go to college for free. If he can go to, I don't care if it's a D2 small school. If he can go to school for free, that is my ultimate goal. I could care. I don't need you to go to the league. I don't need you to go nowhere. Go to school for free. And I'm telling him that now. We've already talked about, like, you love sports so much. You can go to school for that. You can go to school for broadcasting and journalism and be one of these people on ESPN. Be one of these people who writes for all these, different magazines or different, news places.
Still
like,
doing
you could
what
do
you love.
all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the way things are now with social media, you could start your own network. You could come out, finish school, know how to do all this stuff, and like, there's people who make money now covering high school sports. Because the way high school sports are now, these kids doing 360 rim wheels in high school now. It's wild. So they covering high school sports all over social media, interviewing kids and these phenomenons, and it's a big thing. It's huge. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views and they're able to make money off it. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different ways, so many different resources. Yeah, like it's just so many different things for people to do other than to take that street route.
Correct.
It's so much out there. It's just something that people
you can
adhere
live a good
to.
life.
And something that I was mentioning on the show on my birthday when Rev was here and we were having a great debate, normal debate, normal argument amongst brothers. Once again, it's something that we. It's towards progression is what people don't realize. And it's something we honestly do all the time. But anyways, I wasn't really able to get it all out all the way, but I was mentioning something that something I've always thought about that I think would be a great. It's something that needs to be done. Is an organization that can be started that brings all minority people together. And it's something that is tight knit throughout the entire country. So tight knit to where basically everybody who's a part of this all eats a certain type of food, right? And if these companies aren't making the food a certain way, like let's say, and I'm saying like we all eat meat, that's fine, right? But the meat has to be prepared a certain way. Don't be shipping our meat from all over the country. Right. Don't be, people, like, you know what I mean? Shit. Exactly, a culture. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to make sure, and we have people that are going to fly out to these plants and see how the food is made to make sure it's done right. Okay. And then we'll sign off on it,
That sounds like...
And you have to pay us to come out there and do this, you know what I'm saying? And then our people will buy your food. We will eat your food. You know what I'm saying? Or your clothes and all, you know what I mean? Everything. Because that's exactly how Jewish people do it. And that's exactly how other people, other organizations, that's how certain other organizations do things. Yeah. They have an entire community that is all through the goddamn country, you know what I'm saying? To where they make money with amongst each other. And I think that's something that needs to be started. Like I had mentioned on the last podcast, like the Black Millionaires Coalition, just a random name, but just something to where you get all these entertainers, all these millionaires, all these people that got money, all these rappers, all these sports players, all these business owners, everybody. Why can't they at least donate $1 million a year? That's $50 million, $100 million a year that can go towards starting schools, hospitals. No, but I'm saying to one organization, to one cause, no matter what. Like I was saying, Floyd Mayweather and T.I. beef, and that's cool. They could beef. But guess what? They still putting $1 million towards this fund, towards that coalition, because every year that money's going towards buying back properties, buying businesses. I mentioned like the Fruit of Islam, like Farrakhan and them. That's what they did. They started in Chicago and it grew, just using the money, but in a church way, taking that money and buying back the block, buying back properties, buying businesses, diners, hotels, employing the people that go to your church, your people, buying houses and renting out to your people. You know what I'm saying?
Make a community, basically.
Yeah.
And that's going to make us grow.
Buying hospitals and having your doctors and your nurses and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Employing your people, your library, everything. Like an entire ecosystem. You buying your grocery stores. All of that, like everything is done amongst yourselves, and these are the only people you deal with.
And get it while it's hot, while it's still cheap too. On top of that,
and you have
a lot of these hoods are cheap.
Exactly. That's another thing. Yeah, you could buy the properties cheap when everybody pools their money together. And guess what? The kids still can have basketball teams. They can have bands. They can have all of that. And they do have that. Still to this day, they compete and everything, But there needs to be more of that, There needs to be way more of that. There needs to be something, somewhere, somebody, everybody, can come together and start one organization that can unite every minority just around the country. Honestly, it needs to be something, because the problem is, in a nutshell, most people don't know their heritage. It was stripped from them. They're not right. They weren't allowed to know their culture, so they don't know where they're from. Yeah, so establish it here in America. Establish that group of people that, okay, this is where we're from. We're from America. Correct. This is who we are. You know what I mean? We are like the term says, African Americans, right? I was born here in America. I know I'm Puerto Rican, okay, but like we were just saying, I don't speak Spanish very well, and now my kids are growing up. Yeah, they're Puerto Rican, but guess what? They're born here. They don't speak Spanish, and they don't know shit about Puerto Rico, in all honesty. So, guess what? So why don't they have something to tie to? Why don't they have this American, hey, guess what? As kids, we're entering into this, the Black Coalition. We're going to their schools. We're in their health system. This is how we're raised. This is how we're growing up. You know what I'm saying? We eat these foods. We live this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't we have that?
Well, because supposedly what America is built on is freedom. That's supposed to be the heritage. That's supposed to be the main thing about America, freedom.
That is freedom.
But we don't have freedom right now. So that's why we don't have no heritage. No one has freedom here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't really be yourself. You can't really be free. You know what I'm saying? So what we need to establish a new heritage. You know what I'm saying? Because what we have established in America is not nothing happening.
Right now. Yeah, exactly. You know I think that is the problem. You're right. There is no concrete foundation now. I think is like the issue.
What we're supposed to be is supposed to be the land of the free, but there is no true freedom here. So that's why we have no heritage. So we need someone at some point needs to establish a heritage and a new legacy for this country.
Exactly, a new start for like something. Yeah, it needs to begin somewhere. And I think it can be done. Like I say, just imagine there was 50 black and brown millionaires. Come on, that's simple. Just going through the entertainment industry alone, you could find that. Just amongst actors and musicians.
Of course, it's possible.
And you know what I'm saying? And then you go into sports. And then, oh my God, then you go into business owners. I mean, it's
Think about this. With Kaepernick. Kaepernick didn't need the NFL. He didn't need Nike's money. If we as a community really supported him, we could have each. How many black people are in this country? You know what I'm saying?
Could have made our own league.
We could not. Even if we just wanted
to back. That's another thing.
Even if we wanted to just back him,
there should be its own league.
We could have just said, Kaepernick, we appreciate you putting your career and your salary on the line. So as the Black Coalition, as we always say, everybody just donate $10. How many millions of black people are in this country? Brother could have walked off with $20, $30, $50 million supported by the community. I mean, and that would have been the biggest fuck you to the NFL, because it would have been like, you can't control us. We can support each other without y'all. So now the power changes. But
that's my whole thing about that too, is that the power changes in that way. You know what I mean? Like with Jewish people, see, they're tied by religion is the thing, and but their way is that, they work with the powers that be, or whatever you want to call it, but they go by their rules.
Correct.
You want us to eat your food, it has to be made a certain way.
And they don't.
You want us to wear your clothes, it has to be made, a certain way. They have their way, and that's
they have
cool.
the power behind them to set those rules.
Fine, then you're not going to get our money, and they understand that.
Right,
and they don't get their money.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you don't get their money, and it should be like that. Why can't it be like that for a lot of black and brown people in America? We need something just like that, something that can tie everybody together. And it can be done. I think it can be done easily. It really could. I think it could really be done easily. It would be a long process, but it could be started easily. It could be started with all of these entertainers with all this money and all these people with all this money just donate to it, and it can even be with all of us. It can be everybody.
Correct.
Donate
You're right.
to it. So, like I say,
to be
if
that.
your kids are raised in knowing this, like let's say it's not even a church. Let's just say you go to the community center every Friday. It's a thing that you meet up, and everybody who's in the coalition
It's changing your
and,
culture.
Like I know these white people who go to this thing called the Moose Lodge, and they would go there every week. They go there all the time. You know what I'm saying? They pay to be a part of that. And guess what? That thing, the Moose Lodge, it pays for their kids' colleges. It does all type of shit because it's all around the country. These people put in, and they pay for that. And then they go there all the time. And they drink and they play bingo and they spend all this money going there all the time to this place. And they know all of each other. You know what I'm saying? It's this whole little community that they create all everywhere. And it's kind of united. You know what I'm saying? You have the big events, the national events, right? Why is that not? You know what
because
I'm saying?
we too busy arguing over stupid stuff.
And it's okay. You can still argue over stupid shit, but still put that money over
Correct.
there. Your money goes over there. You know what I'm saying?
Lately, there's been like a lot of talks about the government giving a lot of black folks reparation, like money. Reparations that was promised a long time ago that weren't given to us when they freed the slaves.
Got 40 acres and a mule.
40 acres and a mule.
They ain't get that 40 acres. We need them 40 acres and a motherfucking mule.
What do you think black folks would do with the money if they actually?
Not all of us are responsible, just like any other race.
I think it would. I'll be honest with you. In today's society, of course, there's gonna be a lot of people who fuck the money up. There's just nowhere around. I don't care what race that is. You give a bunch of people money, you're gonna fuck it up.
That's what I said.
Just as how it goes. Doesn't matter. But I think in today's society, with just the way the culture is today, we all know that black people have more of a fair shot today than they've ever had. There's no way around that. You know what I mean?
Correct.
There's more black millionaires and rich black people today than there ever has been. So I think with that alone, there's going to be a lot of black people who will get reparations that are in college to be doctors, who are, or maybe in high school, who are already wanting to be, different businessmen or businesswomen or on the way to be architects or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they just got this. It might obviously not gonna be 40 acres and a mule, but who knows what? $500,000 or
It'll be a nice little boost.
whatever. Boom! Now all of a sudden you got that, and it's like, oh shit, my college is paid now. Now I'm good. You know what I mean? And I can get a place. I can get a car. I can or maybe you got a young stockbroker. Or I've been seeing so many things like the young girl. I don't know how she is now, but I think she was 11 at the time when she made this lemonade. Young black girl made this lemonade that's like sold in Costco.
I think I heard some.
Walmart places.
Yeah.
And like there was another girl who had a makeup line. Just a lot of different, imagine if that girl it gets a $500,000 reparation all of a sudden because she's a direct descendant of a slave. Holy shit, that's gonna take her through the roof. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say that effect all over the country, man, it'll flip the world on its head, honestly. Because within 10, 15 years, now all of a sudden these reparations checks, people might have fucked it up, but imagine how many of them do well.
It's going to make the economy boom.
Yeah, and the economy shift.
Even the people that do make the mistake and buy a whole bunch of clothes and stuff like that, it all goes
into the economy.
It goes into the economy anyway, so it's like, hey.
Listen, all I know is if that were to happen, it would be... I know I myself as well would be like, yo, I'd be trying to get on anybody I know. Yo, did you get a reparations check? Invest that shit. And I help you invest it. You know what I mean? My father does real estate.
How much you think they
buy it up?
Spread that out. How much everybody you think they would get? Though?
I would be curious just to know how many direct descendants of slaves we actually have in America. I would really like to know the direct number. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing. Like I remember. And at one point, believing and reading that like Native Americans, there was like 100 million of them that were slaughtered, and there were so many millions and millions of them that were here and died. And then I started actually like there was a point where we didn't have any cable or nothing in the house, right? And we still don't now, but I didn't know about like the things I know now about, streaming TV and shit. So we were going to the library a lot to like rent DVDs and also get books. And so I started reading books on Native Americans, and then reading these books and then reading these actual documentation. It was like more like thousands that were dying. It was probably more like around maybe 1 million or 2 million, I think, the actual Native Americans that were slaughtered instead of the
large numbers.
Yeah, that large number that I had originally
a lot of them
thought.
left in like Mexico. Like just,
they were everywhere.
Mexico, they were everywhere, but a lot of them fled deeper, like into Mexico.
They were in, but I mean, you got to think all of Native America, Mexico, Canada. It was all Indians. It was the natives to that land. That was all it was. Period. But yeah, I totally forgot why I was even going where I was going.
No, we took a couple of lefts. You know what I'm saying? But
we do this all the time. But yeah, it's all good. It's all love. We need to take a break, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into that. Let's take a break. Let's finish on the fact that
all right. So
people have resources out here, right?
Yeah. People got resources.
Know your resources.
Use them,
please, because they're
there.
I know they're there. I know they're there, man. I know so many people with tough stories.
Correct.
That had resources and turned them down and pushed them away and put themselves in rough positions over and over and over on purpose. And I know people who were in really, really tough spots who came up out of it. Just like, Blakk was saying and other people. I mean, Fred is an example. Fred can give you a whole sob story right now.
Correct.
If he wanted to. He can sit here and tell you how his father wasn't there and blah, 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 and oh my God, and I could, you know what I mean?
But for why? There's a lot of different
scenarios. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he chose a different route.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? He chose to...
He's still here.
Yeah, exactly. He chose to a totally different route. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like I said, just everybody has a sob story. Everybody. You know what I mean? And I know some people's might be worse than others, but there's always resources. There's always a way, the different route. There's always, like... It is there. You just have to get it. You know what I mean? You have to look for it. It's not always the easiest thing. So
we just gotta.
Yeah, we've got to provide more positive images though too in the community.
I'm saying it's also mindset because you could be the smartest motherfucker out here, but if you got the people around here that keep telling you dumb, ultimately you're gonna think you dumb. You're gonna follow that. You know what I'm saying? So if people is continuously saying there's no opportunities, even if there are opportunities, you're going to have it in your mind, there's no opportunities, so I'm just going to hit the streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Again, so it goes back to let's keep these positive examples of people that's doing anything. You can live your life. You don't have to compromise who you are. It doesn't mean that you have to turn into Mr. Corporate to make money. You can be who you are. Just find your niche and get your money. And that's all I really want to say about it. We're going to go into... Let's go into a Phluid joint my way. You know what I'm saying? I always fuck with Phluid. So let's go into a joint.
It's taking up all of my energy. Hate when y'all hating on faking on me. Say what you want, what you got, what you see. Say that I need. Whole lot of cash, down the hoes on me. Little bit of juice, got your boy on me. Leave me the fuck alone when I'm on weed. When I'm on way, it's cool, get a job, get a 9 to 5. Try to get on my level, gotta pay the price. You gotta sleep with the devil, let it stay tonight. But my soul left, I'm trying to make it right. Got a head and a heart full of evil eyes. My reflection is waiting on me to decide if I should kill anyone thinking to equal the eye. Gotta go, gotta eat, you gotta die. Could have gained all of the fame, all of the game, all of the change that you made to get into this whole hip-hop famous shit. I ain't even really in it for the famous shit, but you even get on my way to shit. So get on my way. If you can't get on my way to shit, get on my way. Who didn't get on my? Nobody get in my way. Get in my way. Nobody get in my way. Get in my way. Who didn't get in my? Nobody get in my way. Get in my way. Nobody get in my way. Gotta get in my way. Who didn't get in my? Nobody get in my way. Get in my way. Nobody get in my way. Gotta get in my way. Who didn't get in my? Nobody get in my way. Get in my way. Nobody get in my way. Gotta get in my way. Who gon' get in my way? Better put a gun in my face. Headshot, nigga, don't play. Let the 4-5 come back like Jay. I turn a 2-3 to a 6, boy. I got 30 on my wrist, boy. No jewelry, look at the flick of the wrist. Bet you can't do it like this, boy. I am the man on the mound. I made the plan for the crown. I'm Jon Snow, you backstab, I snap back. You ain't taking me down. No bullshit like a left shot. I be on my twist like left eye. Bitches keep a nigga stressed out, so if I hit, I got you X'd out. You ain't getting half of my piggy bank. No big bank, take little bank. You don't give a fuck what a nigga think. Tell me why you click up on a nigga link. These niggas watch, don't double tap. See, I ain't got no love for that. In love with trees cause they block shade. I could give a fuck about your blockade. Who didn't get in my? Nobody get in my way. Get in my